So you've definitely seen the logo, right? Maybe even used one of their apps. But Zoho, well, it's one of the most fascinating and, frankly, misunderstood giants in the entire tech world. It's a true anomaly, a company that pretty much broke all the rules to build a global empire. So today, we're going to decode what makes them tick.
All right, let's get right to it. The big mystery. What does the name Zoho actually mean? Is it some complex acronym? A word from another language? It's a great question, and it gets right to the heart of who they are. And trust me, the answer is probably not what you're thinking.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle the name itself and its simple mission. Then we'll dive into their incredibly powerful product ecosystem. After that, we'll explore the unique philosophy, the ethos that drives everything they do. And finally, we'll connect all the dots to show you their ultimate strategic advantage.
All right, first things first, the name. To really get what Zoho is all about today, you have to rewind the clock. We need to go back to the very beginning and see what problem they were even trying to solve.
They didn't even start out as Zoho. The company actually began its life way back in 1996 as AdventNet, and they were focused on some pretty serious network management software. But then the internet started booming, and they saw this huge opportunity in cloud-based apps. They knew they had to pivot, and that meant they needed a brand new identity.
And right here, this is the key to the whole puzzle. Back in the early 2000s, their new obsession was the SOHO market. You've probably heard this acronym. It stands for Small Office/Home Office. We're talking about the millions of small businesses out there that needed powerful but affordable software to even have a fighting chance.
And there it is, so simple but so brilliant. The name Zoho is just a creative spin on SOHO. They just swapped out the S for a Z to make it catchy, easy to remember, and this is absolutely crucial for any tech company, the domain name was actually available. Yeah, that's right. Zoho literally means small office. But of course, the name means so much more today. It's evolved way beyond those simple origins. So let's jump into part 2 and see how Zoho became what people now call the operating system for business.
Okay, so this slide gets to the heart of it for any business owner. You've got two choices. Over on the left, you've got the usual mess, the disjointed stack. A sales app from one company, a chat tool from another, your accounting software from a third, and none of them talk to each other. On the right, you have the Zoho way, one single unified platform. Think about what this means. Your sales team closes a deal, and instantly the finance department has the invoice ready to go, and your warehouse manager sees the inventory update in real time. It's that seamless flow we're all after.
And get this, the scale of this unified ecosystem is just mind-blowing. We are not talking about a handful of apps here. Zoho has built over 55 different, fully integrated applications that cover pretty much everything a business could ever need.
So really, what it comes down to is this. In today's software world, the name Zoho is basically another word for integration. It's built on this radical idea that you shouldn't need a dozen different subscriptions and an IT wizard on staff just to make your business run smoothly.
Okay, and this is where the story gets really unique. This is the ethos. It's what truly sets Zoho apart from pretty much every other major tech company out there. It's the core philosophy that makes their entire business model even possible.
It all comes down to one single powerful word, bootstrapping. Zoho has never, ever taken a single dollar of venture capital or any other outside investment. They are 100% privately owned. You know what that means? They only have to answer to two groups of people, their employees and their customers. That's it.
And being financially independent like that, it lets them do things differently. They follow this philosophy that their CEO calls transnational localism, and this quote really sums it up perfectly. While every other tech company is building these massive glass towers in super expensive cities, Zoho is doing the exact opposite. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means they build these incredible, state-of-the-art offices in small rural towns. Their whole idea is that incredible talent exists everywhere, but opportunity, not so much. So they bring the opportunity to the talent, reversing that classic brain drain from small towns to big cities, and in the process, they revitalize local economies.
All right, so we've got the name, the massive ecosystem, and this really unique philosophy. But so what? Why does any of this matter to you and your business? Let's tie it all together and find out.
Well, the first big advantage is something you can't always see, but it's absolutely critical: privacy. Look, because they don't have to answer to Wall Street demanding crazy growth every quarter, their business model is beautifully simple. You pay them for great software. End of story. They have zero incentive to ever sell or monetize your data. And this whole obsession with independence, Oh, it goes way deeper. Zoho is one of the very few tech companies that is almost completely vertically integrated. Think about it. They're not renting servers from Amazon or Microsoft. No way. They build and run their own data centers all across the globe. That gives them a level of control over your security and their performance that is just unheard of.
So let's just boil it all down. What's the bottom line for your business? Well, their independence means they can think in terms of decades, not financial quarters. Their private structure means they have a deep, foundational commitment to your data privacy. And their vertical integration gives you a level of security that's almost impossible to find anywhere else.
And all of this leaves us with one really fascinating question to chew on. In an industry that is obsessed with hypergrowth, venture capital, and quick IPOs, is it possible that Zoho's patient, private, and deeply integrated model is actually the real blueprint for building a sustainable, long-lasting company? It's definitely something to think about.